Hello, students and other viewers. Nothing should stop you from learning as long as God has given you good health. Okay, today we'll be seeing a term called ledger. Something some of us are already familiar with. You have heard of this word or this term since probably Genesis 3, Genesis 2, and Genesis 1. And on screen, you will see a picture of how the ledger looks like. Now, by definition, a ledger is an account in accounting is also known as a principal book for recording and totaling economic transactions measured in terms of money units. Okay, you can also see another picture on your screen. You can see your debit, your credit, your debit again, your credit, and this is typically how a ledger looks like. So one can say that it contains the information that is required to prepare financial statements. Okay, having looked at this, that will now take us to finding out the electronic replacement of this physical ledger, as as it's not in use in our modern day as it used to be. Okay, so something has replaced it. That electronic equivalent of this ledger is what we are going to be talking about today, and that is what you call the spreadsheet. The subject is data processing, and the topic is spreadsheet package. This is basically for students in SS1, but it can serve as a revision for students in SS2 and SS3. My name is Ehiedu Chooks, and I'm going to be the presenter. Okay, what are the objectives of this class? What do we hope to achieve? What do we expect students to be able to know at the end of this class? The first one is that they should be able to define spreadsheet packages. They should be able to give us examples of spreadsheet package. They should be able to outline the uses, what are spreadsheet packages used for, and they should be able to mention some of the features of spreadsheet package. They should also be able to mention some of the functions of spreadsheet package, some of the functions in spreadsheet package. We'll get to see that when we get there. And you should be able to write an example of a formula. So these are the things we expect that you students should be able to do at the end of this class. All right, let's jump into it. Now, what are spreadsheet packages? One can say that a spreadsheet package is a computer program or an application software. It's important to note that application software. There are actually three types of software: the system software, the utility software, and the application software, which you use to carry out one task or the other. Alright, the application software that allows easy entry, organizing, storing, manipulation of figures. It's basically more of a figure thing. Equation, text, used commonly for analysis and other financial related tasks. Alright, on screen now is an image of a spreadsheet package. It might be looking a little bit clumsy because of the screen and the video, but don't worry, with time, in the course of this class, you'll be able to see a better view, and also from your practicals, which you should have, which you should do on your systems at home, you should be able to see it better. Okay, therefore, we can also say that the spreadsheet is an application software that allows entry, analyzing, and calculating data. All right, what are the advantages? The replacement, what are the advantages? What do we benefit from this? Now you see that you have unlimited space. A user can store as much as possible without any form of restrictions. But if you have to use the ledger, at some point, the ledger will either get exhausted, at some point, you might run out of space and the rest of them. But with spreadsheet, it's unlimited because you either store on the cloud, you store in your local disk, or wherever. Okay, now you have information is organized and easy to access. It's clear. You can easily arrange your data and you can easily retrieve them. Calculations are correct, just like your calculator. So as long as you type in or garbage in the right figures, you will definitely get the right answers. All right, information is easy to edit. If a mistake is noticed by retyping or using the undo. Okay, so if you make a mistake, you can easily delete, can easily undo, and things will get back to normal. You don't need to get erasers or correction fluids to make that correction. All right, calculations are completed automatically as long as the right formulas and functions are being used. If you make a mistake, all you need to do is to put in the correct values and the calculations will do itself automatically. All right, data can be easily stored, filtered, and quickly analyzed. Data can be easily stored, filtered, and easily and quickly analyzed. If you need to pull up a particular record or a particular data from your spreadsheet, you can easily do that by probably using the find function and then get what you need to get. All right. Now reports can be made more visual by using charts and graph. Now, in the course of this, not this class, but when you go deep into the practical, you see that you'll be able to draw charts, you should be able to draw graphs, and with this, you have a better picture of whatever analysis you're trying to carry out. And it makes information easier to transfer. As long as it's in the soft copy, you can easily move it to the next, to your principal, to your teacher at home, to even your uncle outside the country. It's as easy as that. All right, what are the disadvantages? There are things that are not that make this application not too favorable. One of them is that power supply is usually required. Now you need light to do that. See that you have to charge your system, or you have to charge your phone, whatever you use, whatever device you are using to do that. Then the device and softwares, some of them are usually expensive. You have to get a laptop, you have to get a general software because pirated software can actually have some issues with your system. But let's leave that for SS3. So you have to have these devices and this software. Sometimes they are usually very expensive. Okay, it requires a trained person to use it. It requires a trained person to use it. Now, you have to be skilled. You have to have some level of education to be able to actually use that. You have to be taught how to use it. Okay, now what are the examples? The common example of a spreadsheet package is the Microsoft Excel. It's very common. Then you have the Google Sheets, which is the equivalent that can be used online, and it's free. So you can have a group of people working on the sheets, same sheets, when you are using the Google Sheet. All right, you have the iWorks by Apple. This is usually installed on Mac devices. You have the SuperCalc, you have the Quattro Pro, you have the BizCalc. BizCalc is actually the oldest. It's like short for visible calculator. Visible calculator. It's actually the oldest spreadsheet, and it was replaced by Lotus 123. When Lotus 123 came in, it was marketed as a 3-in-1 software, meaning that it could be able to perform spreadsheet calculation, it could be able to do database function, and it was also able to produce graphs and all that. So it was like a 3-in-1 function. That's why you have it Lotus 1, 2, and then 3. It replaced BizCalc. Microsoft Excel came in and then replaced the Lotus 1, 2, 3. Okay, so next thing you should note is that the BizCalc and the Lotus 1, 2, 3 are actually discontinued software, meaning that they are no longer being developed. No updates, you can't find updates on them. You might not easily find the software as well, and so on, because you can say they are out of date. Okay, now what are the uses of spreadsheets? For teachers, you can use it to calculate grades, identify low and high scores for students, and this will enable you to know those students who are struggling, those students who missed their scores, and other relevant data. And you see that it will make your grade book very smooth, effective, gives you all the data you require. Okay, so I would advise teachers, not only students, to use this and to enjoy it. Yeah, you also can use it to perform mathematical operations, statistical analysis, produce graphs and charts to assist users in identifying data trends. That's when you're using the graphs and charts. So students, you can use this to plot a quadratic equation. Get your curve, the two values of x. How to store and organize data, you can actually use a spreadsheet package to store and organize data. Then for finance, those who are in the bursary department can use it to prepare payroll. You can use it to do your budgets, tax, transaction, forecast future performances, calculate tax, profit loss, and revenues. So those in the budget department, in the finance department, can actually also use the software to make life easy. Now you can use it to store inventories. Fine, the spreadsheet, the Microsoft Word or the word processors can be able to do this, but that is also one of the things you can use the spreadsheet for. You can use it to handle inventories, evaluations, performance review, patient entry. Like you go to a hospital, you can use it to take your data, what's your name, what's your phone number, your place, and this will be entered into the various cells and it should be stored appropriately. So these are some of the things you can use a spreadsheet package for. Okay, now what are the types of data used in spreadsheets? What are the types of data used in Excel? First of all, you have the labels. These are more of text entries and do not have values. Like when you say name, first tests, and the rest of them. I'll show you that in the course of this class. Now you also have the constants. These are more of values. You can call them numbers. Here you also know that there are various types of numbers used in Excel. You have the fractions, you have the percentage, you have the currency, and the rest of them. So that is also a type of data. And now you have the formulas as the last one. A formula, a mathematical statement that you use usually contains cell references and or numbers in mathematical operators and mathematical operators. Like you can have cell reference like B3. You can use just numbers like 6 plus 6. You can also, the plus there is also is your mathematical operator. So you can have your divide, your minus, your times, and the rest of them. They all fall under formulas. Okay, now let's see some of the features that you have in your spreadsheet package. The first one are rows, the ones that go horizontally. You see them moving horizontally. They are horizontal on this on the workbook or on the spreadsheet. That's the worksheet. You also have the columns. These are the vertical sections. Let's use the word vertical section. And when these rows and columns intersect, they give you a box-like structure. So that intersection will give you what you call a cell. The intersection of a row and a column will give you a cell. Now you have a worksheet. One can say that a collection of cells, probably should we say related cells, will give you a worksheet. And now when you're renaming a worksheet, because at the bottom you have sheet tabs, so it means in a workbook you can have 3 sheets, you can have 10 sheets, you can have 1 sheet, depending on what you need them for. So, but when you're renaming every of the tab or every of the sheets, the maximum character that the renaming, when the maximum character when renaming is 31. Meaning that after you have typed in 31 characters, you can no longer type more than that. So that is something you should note about the spreadsheet, the worksheet. So a collection of cells, probably you can say related cells, will give you the worksheet. Now when this, if you have 3 sheets open, the sheet you're currently working on, you can refer to that as the active sheet or active worksheet. Now a collection of these worksheets, your sheet 1, your sheet 2, your sheet 3, is actually what gives you the workbook. Once you open a spreadsheet package or you open Microsoft Excel, for example, you have opened the workbook. So the workbook is where you have your worksheets, and that's where the activities go on. Okay, you also have cell reference. Cell reference is usually, I like to call it the address of a cell. It's usually made up of the colon, alphabet, and the row number. I forgot to tell you that rows are usually identified, let me use that word, identified in a worksheet using the numbers, while the column have headers which are named in alphabets. So the columns are identified using alphabets on the spreadsheet, and the rows are identified using the numbers by the side. Okay, so the cell reference is the address of the cell. It's made up of the column, alphabet, and the row number. Now the cell you're currently working on, if you're in a worksheet, the cell you're currently as a user typing in something, data, is what you refer to as an active cell. Okay, now the name box, the active cell, or rather the cell reference of the active cell is usually displayed on the name box. I'll get to show you that when we get there. And the formula bar It's usually a long bar. I'll show you that to displays the contents of the active cell. Now note these three. The active cell is the cell you're currently working on. The name box displays the cell reference of the active cell, and the formula bar displays the content of the active cell. The formula bar displays the content of the active cell. All right, proceed. You have the status bar, which is at the bottom. You get some information about, probably if you highlight cells, if you highlight, you see it gives you some values at the bottom. Then the title bar, that's where you see the title of the document, the spreadsheet you have opened. You see it there. Whatever I used to save that work, you see it at the title bar. Now you have the ribbon. This is usually found in Microsoft Excel 2013 and higher versions. You have the ribbon, where you see the ribbon is basically made up of three parts: the tabs, the groups, and the commands. I will try to show you that in the course of the class. Okay, you have the quick access toolbar that gives you it's just like a shortcut to some of the things you would often use. Okay, you have the zoom slider. That's what makes your work area to be large or small, so that it will help you view properly. Now you have your vertical and the horizontal scroll bar. This is used to navigate the working environment. You have the wrap text. If you type into a cell, and sometimes if the cell is too small, you see that some of the content of that cell will be hidden. Now while that cell is still active, you click on the wrap text, every of that, the content of that cell will now be visible. It's like it's compressed sort of. So that's what the wrap cell will do for you. You have the sort and filter, which you can use to either arrange in alphabetical order, which you can use to remove a certain data you don't want. So that's what you use your sort and filter to do. Okay, now some of the Excel functions. You have the sum, the average. The sum is used to add, the average is used to find a mean value. We have the product for multiplication, the quotient for division, the minimum, which gives you the smallest value in a range, whatever you selected, and the maximum does the opposite, gives you the largest value in a selected range of cells. Now, if statements can be used to do grade for teachers, so that if a student scores 70, the statement will make it to be an A, and if you get 40, you can make it an E. So with that, you can do your grades, and the rank will be able to allocate positions like the first, the second person, third. So this can be used to know the overall position of students, probably your subject in the class, and so on. Okay, now on screen is a table. We're going to be seeing how to write formulas. Just go to just the surface, not going deep, to carry out functions. For you to carry out functions, you should be able to write them in formulas. So that formula will be able to tell the system what function you want to perform. Example, you see your screen, you have the A, B, C. Like I told you, these represent columns, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, this represents the rows. Okay, it means that from here down is a colon A, colon B, colon C, row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. Okay, now the first column, you have the first row, you're seeing student assessment. The cells, they are actually merged. That's why you could see that merged. So I'll teach you how to merge the cells so that you'll be able to type student assessment. Then you now have your project, you have your exam, and you have your total columns. So now this project, exam, and total can be called, is what we refer to as labels. I told you types of data that you use in Excel. I told you have labels, you have constants, you have formulas. So project, exam, and total are the labels. 20, 60, 40, 40 are constants, they are numbers, and what you have here are formulas. Now it's important to note here that every formula begins with the equal sign. Every formula begins with the equals sign. Okay, now for example, total is usually to sum up. You are told to find the total or write the formula you will use to calculate the total score of the third row. That is project and exam. The total score 20 plus 60. All you need to do, you start with every formula begins with equal sign and put equal to. Then the function you're performing, remember you have the sum function, the average function, the minimum, the maximum, the product. So the function we're performing here is the sum function. Okay, and now what is the cell reference? Now let me give you a practical example of what you call cell reference. Now 20, if 20 is if we are going to get the address of 20 as the cell reference of 20, all you need to do is take the colon number first, the colon letter first, A, and then come down to pick the row number 3. So that means 20 is on the cell reference A3 and 60 is on the cell reference B3. So the formula is now saying equal to, which is showing that this is now, it's not just a text, it's a formula. So equal to sum, which is the function, A3, which is the cell reference of 20, and B3. Now you see a colon there. That colon is different when you use it's the colon and the comma, they actually used to do this sum. But when you are taking a range, for example 20, 60, let's say we want to add this 3. If this 3 is to be one of the scores you're adding, 3, 20, 60, you're adding everything there, you use a colon. But if you're going to be adding just 3, skip 20 and 60, meaning 3 plus 60, you use a comma. Listen, I said if you're using colon, it means you want to sum 3, 20, 60, assuming 3 is one of our values. 3, 20, 60, meaning you're going to have 60 plus 20, which is 83. Now, but if you're told to add just 3 and 60, it will now be A3, it will now be, let's say, something here. You take the cell reference of this, put a comma, and then take the cell reference of this. So that's the difference between when you use a colon and when you use a comma. Now, you can also use this to sum. You can also use this to sum. You can say equal to A4, that is A, or the cell reference for 40, A4, and for the second 40, B4. So A4 plus B4 will also give you the same value. Now, somebody else can also decide, somebody who is not so knowledgeable on this can also decide to say equal to 40 plus 40, and you get the same thing, 40 plus 40. So that's why we said formulas can have cell reference, can have numbers, and to have a mathematical operator. Okay, let's go to the next slide where we'll do the practicals. On screen is an Excel sheet. On your screen is an Excel sheet. On your screen is an Excel sheet. Okay, on this screen you can see the quick access toolbar. That's what you have at the top here. This is the quick access toolbar. From this drop down you can see it's quick access toolbar. That's what you have here. So you can easily perform, you can easily save, you can easily undo, redo, and the rest of them. Now this, where you have spreadsheet assignment SS1, is what you call the title bar. Now you remember your minimize, your maximize, sometimes it can be restored depending on how it is there, and close. Good. Now from here where you have home, insert, down to this place where you have clipboard is what you refer to as the ribbon. From the file home, the top here, just below the title bar, down to this place where you have the clipboard front alignment is what you call the ribbon. Now the ribbon is made up of tab. Home is a tab, insert is a tab, layout is a tab, group, clipboard is a group, font is a group, alignment is a group, number is a group, and the commands, which is what you have inside, like bold, italics, underline, these are all commands you have inside. So that's first thing you should note. Okay, now here you have B4, and that is what you call the name box. I told you the name box displays the cell reference of the active cell, so that is the name box. Now on this longer bar, you have the formula bar. That is the formula bar. It displays the content of the active cell. The formula bar displays the content of the active cell. Okay, now this is Azania Stephanie. Now by clicking on this, let's say I'm typing something, I want to type S, for example. Now you see that the that makes this cell the active cell, the cell I'm currently working on, and the cell reference B4 is displayed on the name box, while the formula bar is displaying the content of the active cell. So this is the formula displaying the formula bar displaying the content of the active cell. So that is it. So you have your A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. These are the colons. They are called colons. Why 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the rows. So you see that the colons have letters, are known by letters, and the colons are identified by the numbers. All right. At the bottom here, where you see ready, is your status bar. For example, if I highlight these two numbers on the count, you see 2 because there are 2 highlighted stuffs there. Now if I increase it to 3, on the count you see 3. So this is your status bar that gives you 1 or 2 information on what you're working on. Now you have the zoom slider. This can make the screen big. You can also reduce your working area. So I prefer to leave it at let's say this. Okay, now this is the horizontal scroll bar which you use to navigate your area, and on top you have at this side you have the vertical scroll bar which you use to move up and then down. Now this is your sheet. I told you can add more sheets like sheet 3, sheet 4, sheet 5. So I have 4 sheets currently open, or rather I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets currently open. Each of them, sheet 1 is having the information I am working with, sheet 2 is having another one, sheet 3 is empty, sheet 4 is empty, sheet 5 is empty. Okay, so now you see that the collection of these sheets gives you what you call a workbook. Now once you load, I'm going to press Ctrl N now to create a new document, and at the top of that document you will see workbook. This is book 1. So once you load Excel or you load a spreadsheet, you have opened a book, and then you can now add sheets. Now a collection of all these cells here can be for this, collection of this can be for 2, and the rest of them. Okay, now we proceed. I want to teach you how to merge cells. Now all you need to do, if I want to merge this cell below here, all I need to do is highlight the cells first. Now the easiest way you can do that is click on the first one, that is on A6, hold down your shift button on the keyboard. While you are holding it down, you press your right arrow key. The navigation key is the arrows. So just tap on it and to keep highlighting until you get to where you want to stop. And once you finish doing that, you can go to the group. While on home tab, group alignment, you can come to the merge and click on merge and center. On the home tab, group alignment, go to merge and click on merge and center. Now once you do that, whatever you type will be displayed as one cell and at the center. Example. Now you can see example there is being inserted in this cell, and it's cutting across columns A to J. So that's how you do your merge and center. Okay, I'm going to undo that by pressing Ctrl Z, and that is gone. Okay, now the next thing I want to show you are the types of data. the types of data, not numeric data. Now, if you look at the type of data used here is date. That's why you see it here, date. Type of data used here, date. The type of data used here is just general. So you can type in text, you can type in numbers. Now, if you want just numbers to be typed, all you need to do, come here. This is where you change the data, the numeric data type you need. If you want to have exponential numbers, you can use the scientific. For fractions, you do this. For percentage, you use this. For time, you use this. For dates, you use this. And then for currency, you use this. If you want that column to only hold numbers, you click on this. When you click on this, it can't accept text. That's the implication. All right. So that's the data type, and that's the practical, or a little bit of the practical aspects. This is just an introduction, just so that you know the environment and what is involved. Later on, we'll get to see other functions. The same way you paste, it's also important that the way you load Microsoft Excel is the same way you load Microsoft Word. The only difference is that if you're using 2007 versions of Windows, you have to select your office. From your office, you go to all programs. From your all programs, you go to Microsoft Office. Then you now, instead of selecting Microsoft Word, you now select Microsoft Excel. So that's typically how you load this. Some of the keyboard shortcut keys you use on Microsoft Word, you also use them on Spreadsheet. Example, your Control C to copy, Control V to paste, Control X to cut, Control B to make bold, Control I to italize, Control U to underline, Control E to centralize, and the rest of them. So some of these keyboard shortcut keys actually also work here. Now, for you to see the functions, you can simply click on this, and on the formula, beside the formula bar, click on this, and you will see all the functions you can perform. So you see there, you have your sum, you have, they are all there. So these are the functions you can actually perform. You can see a whole range of functions to work with. So that's where you have your functions. And if you need to do your sort and filter, you can do that from here. So arrange alphabetically from A to Z, from Z to A, and then you can also filter using this function. Now, for your function, you can see your sum, average, minimum, maximum, and the rest of them. Okay, so these are not really what we want to do today, so I will treat that some other time. However, before I leave, let's see how we can use the sum function to calculate cheesy theorems scores for first test, midterm test, classwork, project, and exam. So all I need to do, every formula begins with the equal sign. I'll type in equal to, and then the function sum, and then I'll open a bracket. The cell reference for 5 for cheesy theorem is on E3. So I'll type E3, and you see it has already been selected. Now, because I am summing everything from E to I, I'll use a colon, and then I'll now type in the last one, the cell reference for 20, which is I3. And that's it. You see the whole range is being selected. Close the bracket and hit the enter button, enter key, and that's the answer, 60. So if you look at this 62, which is the active cell, on the formula bar, on the name box you have J3, which is J, and then 3, and on the formula bar you have the formula which was used to perform that function, which is equal to sum E3, which stands for E3, the cell reference of 5, colon, everything here, and then I3. Now, assuming I want to calculate that of just first test, classwork, and then exam. First test, classwork, and then exam. All I need to do, I will not use the colon. I will simply move to the formula bar. Click on this, and then remove the colon. First test is on E3, so I'll leave E3, put a comma there, classwork is on G3, so I'll type G3, G3, with a comma. You see classwork has been selected, and the last one is L3, I3. So the various cells selected have been, and the various cells entered, the cell references entered have been selected. This, and then this. Okay, so that is giving this. So this is how you can use the commas, when you use the commas and when you use the colons. Okay, I also told you you can remove the sum, and then let's say you want to add just project and exam, just project, or rather just midterm test and project. You want to sum up just midterm test and project. I could decide to remove the sum function and simply type what's the cell reference for the midterm test, that is F3. So I'll type F3 with a plus sign, and then type in for project H3, and then hit the enter key. You'll see that my answer is already 28. So that is how you can actually do the work using your Excel. Okay, so that we don't spend too much time, let's go back to the work on our slide. So that's the much practical we can do for today. When next we gather, we'll be able to do more. All right, so let's see on your screen is, I don't know if you can see that very well, on your screen is an image of something I want you to attempt at home, something I want you to practice at home. So you simply try to enter those values or those data the way they are. Merge yourself, type in data processing, create book for SS1, put in those other values you're seeing there, then increase, add more students to your list. Add at least 5 students to your list. Give them reg numbers of your choice. Give them names of your choice. Change on the dates, on the date of birth, use dates under the number type, the date number type, number, go to types, select date, not general, so that you now enter their date of birth as you wish, enter their class, enter scores for them for first test, midterm test, classwork, and project, and then do the total using the formula I taught you. So now, if I now ask you what's the cell reference as a form of refreshing your brain, what's on the class, what's the cell reference of the active cell you're seeing on screen, is simply what? D B4. That's, so the active cell there is on B4. The objectives of this class are on screen. Let's see how much we're able to do. We're able to define the spreadsheet package. We're able to give examples of spreadsheet package. We're able to outline the uses of spreadsheet package, mention some of the features of spreadsheet package. So we also mention some functions in spreadsheet, and then we're able to write one formula. Then the assignment. There will be no assignment displayed on screen. However, the link to the assignment that I will give to you will be sent to you through the group, the Telegram channel. So in order to be able to take this assignment, which will be done online, you need to have the following ready. In order to be able to take this assignment, which will be done online, you need the following to be ready. An active email account. You need to open an email account. Ask your brother, your sister, your parents to help you do that. Open an active account, preferably Gmail account. As a matter of fact, open a Google Mail account, a Gmail account. Open a Gmail account, and you have to register with the link that will be sent to you on WhatsApp. You have to register with the link that will be sent to you on WhatsApp, and then join the Telegram channel. Join the Telegram channel. The dates and the time for the assignment will be communicated to you. So get your Gmail account ready, Register with the link sent to your WhatsApp and join the Telegram channel. And when the date for the exam is fixed, it will be forwarded to you there. You take the exam and take the exam online, and let's see how much you understand what we are doing in this class. Thank you very much for listening. Do have a wonderful day. Bye.